In the library, someone passed me a note that said, "Get out now. He has a gun." The note hit my textbook while I was mid-sentence reading about how to avoid huge ships, and I watched the paper skid across my page like it had been thrown. My head snapped up, but there was nobody within 10 feet of me. The library was dead quiet except for the hum of computers and Mrs. Brennan's fingers clicking on her keyboard at the circulation desk. I looked at the folded square of paper, my hand hovering over it, some instinct screaming not to touch it. When I finally unfolded it, the message was written in pencil pressed so hard the paper had torn in 3 places. "Get out now. He has a gun." My entire body went cold. There were 7 other people visible. Mrs. Brennan at her desk, totally absorbed in her reading. 2 sophomore girls at a table near the windows, sharing earbuds and giggling at something on a phone. A senior guy from the football team sleeping with his head on his arms 3 tables over. Behind the stacks, someone walking between the shelves. Near the study rooms at the back, a figure in a dark hoodie sat with their back to me, completely motionless. And standing at the far end of my row, partially hidden by a bookshelf, was a girl staring directly at me with an expression of absolute terror. When our eyes met, she shook her head violently and mouthed something I couldn't understand. Then she pressed a finger to her lips in a desperate shushing gesture before disappearing behind the shelf. I grabbed my phone from my pocket, my hands shaking. Should I call 911? Should I pull the fire alarm? Should I run? Every option felt wrong, felt like it would trigger something terrible. The person in the dark hoodie hadn't moved at all, just sat there like a statue. Were they the one with the gun? I stood up too fast, my chair screeching against the floor. Mrs. Brennan's head swiveled toward me with that annoyed librarian expression. The sophomore girls stopped giggling. The hooded figure turned their head slightly, just enough that I could see the pale profile of their face. "I need to use the bathroom," I said, my voice coming out weird and strangled. She nodded and went back to her computer. I started walking toward the exit, forcing myself to move normally, when every instinct screamed to run. I passed the sleeping football player and noticed his breathing was wrong, too shallow, his face too pale. The sophomore girls were watching me with strange expressions. One of them caught my eye and gave a tiny shake of her head. "Don't leave," she mouthed. I was 3 steps from the library door when someone grabbed my wrist from behind. The grip was firm. I spun around and found myself face to face with the girl who'd been hiding behind the bookshelf. Up close, she looked sick with fear, her skin pale and sweaty, her pupils dilated. "Don't," she whispered. "If you leave, he'll know. He'll start shooting." "Who?" I asked. "Who has the gun?" She glanced toward the figure in the dark hoodie. "Him," she said. "But he doesn't know that I know. He thinks everyone's calm. If you panic, if you run, he'll realize someone warned you. Then he'll start early." She pulled me sideways toward a section of shelves that created a small alcove. We crouched down between encyclopedias. "He comes here every Wednesday during 3rd period. He sits in the same spot. He waits until exactly 10:37. Then he stands up and starts shooting." I checked my phone. It was 10:28. "We have 9 minutes," she continued. "I've been trying to figure out how to stop it. I've tried everything. Nothing works. He always does it. Always." I stared at her. "What are you talking about? This hasn't happened yet. How do you know what he's going to do?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Because I've lived this day 63 times. Every time I wake up, it's Wednesday morning again. Every time I try something different. Every time people die. You're the first person who's ever read my note." My brain couldn't process it, but her terror was real. The note was real. And the figure in the dark hoodie was real, sitting there like a coiled spring. I looked at my phone again. 10:29. "Are you saying you're stuck in a time loop?" She nodded frantically. "I know how it sounds, but in 8 minutes, Corey Vance is going to stand up from that chair, pull a gun from his backpack, and open fire. He'll shoot Mrs. Brennan first, then the 2 girls by the window. Then he'll start working through the stacks. 17 people will be in this library by 10:37. 11 will die before the police breach the doors." I've watched it happen over and over. I looked toward the back. Corey Vance still sat motionless. "You're telling me that kid is going to commit a mass shooting in 8 minutes?" She nodded. 7 minutes now. "Why don't you just tackle him? Take the gun before he can use it? I tried that on day 19. He shot me in the chest. I died in 45 seconds. She lifted her shirt slightly, showing smooth, unmarked skin. "No scar because when I die, the day resets. I wake up in my bedroom at 6:30 a.m. and have to live it all again." I pulled back from her. This was crazy, but her eyes held something beyond fear, a kind of exhausted desperation that felt too genuine to be faked. And even if she was delusional, what if she was right? What if in 6 minutes someone started shooting? "I need to leave," I said, standing up. "I need to get help." She grabbed my arm again. "If you leave and he sees you running, he'll panic and start early. If you call 911 from here, he'll hear you. If you warn Mrs. Brennan, she'll confront him and he'll shoot her immediately. I've tried every variation. The only way to stop this is to get his gun before 10:37 without him knowing we're coming for it. That's when I made the biggest mistake of my life." Full story is linked below or on my channel.